Good day everyone. Today I will discuss about the story of Oedipus. Oedipus is one of the most popular tragedy that was written by Sophocles. This story is known to have a lot of titles, with the most common being Oedipus Rex. Other titles for this story includes Oedipus the King or Oedipus Tyrannus. So now we'll proceed to the plot of the story. So in the diagram of the plot, we first have the exposition. In the exposition, Oedipus arrived years before in the city he now ruled as a stranger after the death of King Laius. He was given the crown because he saved the city from the Sphinx. A plague has stricken the Thebes. The citizens gather outside the palace of their king Oedipus, asking him to take action. Oedipus replies that he already sent his brother-in-law Creon to the oracle at Delphi to learn how to help the city. In the rising action, Oedipus sends Creon, his brother-in-law, to consult Apollo about how to stop the plague. Creon reports that Oedipus must find Laius' killer, the former king of Thebes, in order to save his people. Oedipus questions Creon about the murder of Laius, who was killed by Thebes on his way to consult an oracle. Only one of his fellow travelers escaped alive. Oedipus promises to solve the mystery of Laius' death, vowing to curse and drive out the murderer. Chorus suggests to Oedipus that he consult the old blind prophet, Tiresias. Tiresias comes to the palace. Tiresias responds cryptically, lamenting his ability to see the truth when the truth brings nothing but pain. At first, he refuses to tell Oedipus what he knows. Oedipus is furious and presses Tiresias, who finally relents and says that Oedipus himself is the cause of the pestilence. Oedipus flies into a rage and accuses Tiresias of plotting with Creon to take over the throne. He orders Tiresias to leave, but before the prophet does, he tells Oedipus that the killer is in Thebes, will become blind, and will turn out to be both the son and husband of his mother. Creon is horrified that Oedipus has accused him of getting Tiresias to lie so that he can grab the throne. He insists that he does not want the throne. He does not know what Tiresias is talking about. He suggests consulting the oracle at Delphi if Oedipus thinks he is lying. Oedipus wants to either kill him or banish him from the city of treason. Jocasta, Oedipus' wife, comes in and begs Oedipus to trust Creon's oath before heaven. Oedipus reluctantly agrees and sends Creon out of the palace without punishing him. Jocasta then tells Oedipus of a prophecy that a son of hers with Laius would kill his father. She and Laius pinned the child's uncle together and had a shepherd put him in the wilderness to avoid the prophecy. Nonetheless, Laius was killed at a place where three roads meet. Oedipus recognizes this place and the circumstances of Laius' death. He asks Jocasta to send for the remaining witness of Laius' death, a slave. He also tells Jocasta about his parents in Corinth. Years ago, he received the same prophecy, that he would beat his mother and kill his father. Oedipus ran away from Corinth to escape the prophecy, and never to return. Along the way, he met with travelers, one of whom hit him. Oedipus struck back and ended up killing them all. Jocasta sends for the slave but insists that everything will be fine, because she and Laius got rid of their child. The chorus sings of the power of prophecy and the foolishness of men who try to avoid their fates. They say that if the prophecy is not actually true, then the religious faith is in danger of dying. Jocasta comes to the altar of Apollo and places an offering. A messenger comes to tell her that Polybus, who is supposedly Oedipus' father, had died of natural causes. This news gave her hope that the prophecy is not true, because Polybus was not killed by his son. Oedipus pronounces oracles worthless but says there is still one thing that bothers him, his mother, who is still alive. and the other part of the prophecy claims that he will sleep with his mother. Jocasta tells him not to worry about it, but a messenger arrived and says that Oedipus is not the real son of Polybus and Merope. The messenger then says that there is no reason for Oedipus to avoid going back to Corinth because he is not in fact the real son of Polybus. Oedipus was a gift from shepherd who found him on a rock with an ankles bound. It turns out that the shepherd who gave the child to the messenger to give to Polybus and Merope was a servant of Laius, the very servant they have called to come explain what he witnessed when Laius was killed. Jocasta suddenly realizes who Oedipus is and tells him she hopes he never figures this out and pleads with him not to seek the truth. Then she runs into the palace. In the climax of the story, the shepherd is called in and tells Oedipus was the child he brought to the messenger and confirms that the prophecy is true. He does not want to say where he got the child because he was supposed to have left the child on a rock to die. The messenger is present at the scene and served as a witness. He coaches the shepherd to confess his role in keeping the infant alive. Oedipus was the son of Laius, whom the shepherd gave to the messenger. Jocasta had in fact ordered him to kill the child to avoid the prophecy. But the shepherd took pity on the child. Now the shepherd and Oedipus both know that Oedipus was the child and the prophecy has come true. Oedipus finds Jocasta hung herself, and he uses the brooches from her clothes to put out his eyes, so that he will no longer see the horror that is his life. A second messenger reveals to the chorus of what has taken place. Oedipus enters the scene to engage directly with the chorus, which tells him that he should have also killed himself rather than live blind. His children are brought to him by Creon, and Oedipus tells them that he is their brother as well as their father. In the following action, Oedipus begs Creon to take care of his daughters so that their lives will not be as horrible as his, and tells Creon to send him away. Creon takes pity on him and wants to keep him at the palace, but Oedipus says that he wants to live in the mountains. Creon agrees to let him go, but tells him that he must leave his children behind. For now, he has no power over them. In the brief resolution, the chorus sings of unhappy tale, how a powerful man has fallen, and how death is the only thing that will bring happiness to mortals.
And that's it with our recapitulation about the story of Oedipus the King from our discussion in grade books last semester. We have no further discussion about this tragedy drama of Sophocles, as we believe that we had a very well and informative discussion with this before. Thank you.